Hi again, team. So this is probably my last video in my series on mindfulness recently. And in one of my earlier videos, I talked about some definitions of mindfulness, flow state, all of these different sort of terminologies. And one that came up also was meditation. So meditation, I guess, is a form of mindfulness practice. It's where you specifically are trying to train your brain to gently but alertly pay attention to something that's going on in your body, your breathing, for example, or using a particular visualization. So the goal is to try and calm the mind, create a bit of stillness in the mind, so that it's not in what, for my brain at least, is its default state of sort of ding, 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 thoughts, to-do lists, anxiety, blah, 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 going on. So meditation has been hugely helpful for me in terms of just getting a little bit of calm, building a little bit of a peace, a little bit of a pause before I react in situations. It allows me to be able to kind of ground myself at the start of each day, start every day feeling a little bit calmer, a little bit more generally in control of my own thoughts, feelings, and what my brain is up to, which is quite useful. So meditation sometimes involves focusing in on our breathing, and you will absolutely find that when you start out that it is really quite hard to do. A lot of people get very frustrated and think, well, I don't really like paying attention to it because my brain just kind of fills the silence with all sorts of other to-do lists. And this is our drive system, that system that I mentioned in a previous video that we spend so much of our time in. We've trained ourselves by spending so much of our lives in drive. We've trained our brain to just be in that system pretty much the whole time. So it's constantly thinking of stuff. And all meditation is a little bit of a training program for our brains, that it doesn't have to be in that system all the time. It doesn't have to be thinking and planning and ruminating on the past or worrying about the future and thinking about what we're having for dinner and the to-do list for the day all of the time. There are moments where it can stop doing that. So it's a bit of a training program, and it is a continual work in progress still for me. So I couldn't even get a split second where my brain wasn't doing something or trying to do something. When I started, I can now get very, very small moments where it's calm before another thought arrives. An analogy that a friend introduced me to recently around meditation was trains going through a station. So you could just be sat at the station watching the trains go by. You don't have to get on the train. So think about the trains as thoughts. The thought might arrive, and they absolutely will arrive whenever you're trying to meditate. But we don't have to engage with them. We can go, okay, thanks thought. Come back to me later. I don't really want to get involved at the moment. So we can just sit at the station and watch those thoughts arrive and go, yep, and you can also just keep on going and leave for the time being. But thanks. Some people like having it. I love a train, but some people, leaves floating past on a stream or a river is another analogy. We could just watch that leaf. We don't have to go and pick it up and engage with it. We can just watch it come and we can watch it go. So it is very much a training program for the brain, and one of the reasons I think about that, I think, is because of my job. I do training programs quite a lot of the time for people, but also this is one of the key things that got me into a regular meditation practice. The Inner Gym by Light Watkins, and he's written it, as you can tell possibly from the title and the cover, as very much a training program approach. So it really resonated well with me, and has done with a good few of my runners over the years. So introduces like a 30-day sort of fitness challenge, but a 30-day brain fitness challenge. So gradually implementing some habits and then building on them. So that's a great place to start. He's a great person to engage with on social media and follow. And a lot of people get a huge amount out of guided meditation. So particularly when you're new to meditation, having a guided sort of audio meditation where somebody's talking you through what to do, reminding you to not follow those thoughts, reminding you to focus on your breath or your feet or whatever it is the goal of the meditation is, can be really, really useful. It just helps, like having a coach there with you for your running speed session, helps you get the most out of each of those sessions. So a few apps that I can recommend are Headspace, Calm and Insight Timer. So give it a go. Maybe if it's just for 1 minute a day to start with. We can do anything for just 1 minute. We can always find a minute. Find a little calm spot in your house. Mine's usually the spare room. Sometimes if I'm away somewhere, it's in the loo because you can lock the door. Nobody else is coming in to distract you for that 1 minute. And just have a little bit of an experiment with it. I can almost guarantee that it will be really helpful for both body and mind.